Today's FitMoney flipped lesson is going to take you through smart shoppers, where you're going to think about comparison shopping and the effect that advertising has on your sense of spending your money. To complete this lesson, you'd be best served to have two handouts. The first is titled Be Ad Aware, and the second is titled Comparison Shopping Brand Pricing. You can find both these handouts for this lesson on the FitMoney website. Let's get started. So what does it mean to comparison shop? How can advertisements influence your shopping? And how do you actually know if you're getting a good deal? Pause the video for a second and make a few notes as you think about these three questions. Today, we're going to talk all about advertising. Advertising is a tool that's used to get people to want to buy something. Take a look at the picture on the slide and spot any ads that you can see. Have you found any? Feel free to pause the video here and take a look to identify as many as you can. Once you've identified all kinds of advertisements on labels, logos on shirts and hats, on packaging, maybe mailed home and put on the refrigerator, think a little bit deeper about those ads. First, who is responsible for the creation of this ad? The next thing you should think is, what does the ad want me to do? Let's take a deeper look at the ads here. See all of these advertisements? Labels on packaging advertise the brands. They want you to buy their product. On TV, there are video ads, and on the internet as well, there are video ads to encourage you to buy products or do things in a particular way. Sports teams build loyalty with their advertising and on all kinds of different memorabilia. Every single package you see has some kind of advertising on it. Maybe you've gotten a flyer or poster that advertises an event they want you to come to. Look outside and see the advertising that's around us every day, or in things like magazines or books that we read. Take another second and think it over. How do advertisements get your attention? What strategies or what methods do advertisers use to sell their products? And do advertisements ever mislead us? Pause the video here and take 2 or 3 seconds to write down some notes or answers to each of these three questions. Now that you've thought about these questions deeply, let's review some ideas about advertising. Advertising is a tool that's used to convince people to think a certain way or do something in particular. Honestly, it's usually there to convince you to buy something. Advertising gives consumers like you information to help them decide what to buy or how to think about something. Our product is the cheapest, or real athletes wear our shoes, or this is the best movie ever, might all inspire you to buy that product, wear those shoes, or pay money to go to that movie. Sometimes advertisers talk about the special features of their products to convince consumers to buy them. Can you possibly think of a time when advertising has told you that something is the best at what they do for some reason? Advertising helps pay for the cost of things that you get for free on television, radio, or online. Advertisers pay companies like TV networks or social media platforms lots of money to advertise their products. Things you see on Instagram, Snapchat, Twitter, or Facebook, they are all places that run ads paid for by the companies themselves. Advertisers also play influencers like famous athletes, movie stars, singers, or people with a lot of followers on social media to wear their clothes or take pictures of themselves using the product in question. People want to be like these famous people, and so they want to buy the things they have. Advertisers are required by law to tell the truth, but they can still be misleading. The Federal Trade Commission is a government agency that works to protect consumers from being hurt by advertising. That being said, advertisers still use a number of different strategies to influence consumers, many of which are really hard to notice or could even be misleading. Consumers like you should think critically about advertiser claims and presentations so that you're not misled when you're deciding what to buy. Now, you could do this with a group or you can do this individually. And what you're going to do is analyze the ads. So decide the item that you're shopping for and find an example in both ads and then compare them. Think about what group or organization is responsible for each ad. What are they trying to suggest to you about the product? And what is that ad trying to get you to do or to buy or to think about their product? You should compare and contrast the two ads. How are they alike and how are they different? Are the prices the same? And if they're different, why do you think that is? Which advertisement's more convincing? Which product would you buy? And what are ways that you could check that the advertisement isn't misleading or lying to you? Why is it so important to do research before purchasing an item rather than just listening to the advertisements? These are all questions that you can find on your handout and answer there. This ad on the left is for a pair of Zed blue jeans. Take a look at that and see how that advertisement appeals to kids like you. On the right, we've got an ad for NBT blue jeans. We put the prices up top. Now's a good time to pause the video. If you have your handout, answer the questions there. And if you don't, flip back and forth between our previous slide and this one to take a look at answering some of the questions we'd like you to investigate about these ads. So, if you've thought about these questions, let's talk about what answers you might have come up with. According to each of these ads, why should you buy the product? According to Zed, they've got great pricing. It's a cheap way to have a pair of pants. According to NBT, buying NBT blue jeans shows that you are environmentally friendly. Why does NBT charge so much more for their jeans? Maybe it's the materials they say they use that are from 100% bamboo. Maybe it's because of the feeling you get doing something environmentally friendly. Which brand do you think would be higher quality? This is really an opinion question. NBT wants you to think that they're higher quality, but they may or may not be. Perhaps bamboo product makes it more expensive to produce, and we don't know what the Zed jeans are created from. The question of which of these two pairs of jeans you would buy is an opinion question for you based on your values as a consumer. Remember that one is 78 while the other is 26. If it's a purely financial decision, you may go for the cheaper pair, but there are other factors to consider here, like their quality, how they're made, and how you want to represent yourself. Finally, take these questions with you. What does it mean to comparison shop and decide between two different things? What's the benefit of comparison shopping? And are there any drawbacks to comparison shopping as you evaluate advertisements against each other? Things to keep in mind as you're inundated with advertising every day. If you've got more time and you'd like to explore a little bit more, we love admongo.gov. These are games created by the FTC, the government agency we told you about, that help you spot advertising and learn to be smart about it. You can play now online at admongo.gov and create a login to save your progress in the game. We think it's a fun way to practice these skills. Thanks for learning with FitMoney.